Hey, I hope you're doing well. In this video, I want to talk about custom functions. A lot of times my students ask me, why do we need custom functions? Well, we're going to reuse things over and over again. Instead of retyping them, we can save the functions in Mathematica and it will allow us to do our work a little bit quicker. So here's the syntax. It's actually really simple. But the one thing that I really want to point out is there's an underscore right here, and you really need to be careful about using that underscore. If you don't, nothing's going to work. So be really careful when you're doing that. So let me jump into an example. I want to define a function 2x squared minus 2x minus 8. And the goal of this is I want to compute f of n where n is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So I want to compute f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, f of 5. I want to compute all those. So could I type in 2 times 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 8? 2 times 2 squared minus 2. I could type that all in. It would take me a long time. But defining a function makes this very easy. So I'm going to start off by defining f of x. Now notice that I have an underscore in here, and I'm just going to type in my function 2x minus 2x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now, instead of hitting a shift enter here, I'm just going to hit an enter to bring me to the next line in this. Now what I can do is I can compute f of 1, I can compute f of 2, and computing, I'm not setting an equal to anything. I'm not solving for anything. Computing and solving are two very different things. If I evaluate this, I wind up getting, well, 2 output boxes. If I plug the number 1 in here, I should get an output of negative 8. Well, 2 minus 8 is negative 8. So while I could type in f of 3 and so on, there's actually a slightly better way to do all of these all at once. So I already told you how to define a function. Now I want to show you how to use it. So what I can do is I can type in an entire list of numbers. And when I say a list of numbers, that's curly braces. So this is my list of numbers. What this allows me to do is allows me to evaluate every single one of these in one line. And that's so helpful. So I don't have to type in a lot of stuff to answer a lot of these questions. So many times I'm going to want to combine this with other functions. So let's try this. You need to watch the videos, if you haven't, for the solve command and the plot command. I have two functions, f of x and g of x. My goal is to graph both of the functions between the intersection points. So let's see how we can do this. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to define the functions. 2x plus 3. And then g of x. Notice I'm just changing the name. It's g. And I'm going to define it as 2x squared minus 1. Instead of a shift enter, I'm going to just do an enter. Now, if I want to graph these, I'm going to need the plot command. But in order to use the plot command, I need to know the plotting domain. And that's where these intersection points come in. This is where the solve command comes in. So I'm going to try to solve this. Now, instead of retyping in 2x plus 3 double equals 2x squared minus 1, I can type in f of x double equals g of x and tell Mathematica what the variable is. I'm going to evaluate this now, and my intersection points are -1 and 2. So that's really helpful. I'm going to come back up into here into this code cell, and now I'm going to plot it. Now I'm going to plot two functions. Well, I'm going to plot f of x. I'm going to plot g of x. And notice that I have these contained in curly braces. Now I need my plotting domain. Well, my variable is x. According to my solve command, I need to go from -1 to 2. I'm going to close up my brackets, and I'm going to evaluate this, and that's the shape I wind up getting. So, a quick recap. Defining a function. What's really important in here? Well, you need the variable name and an underscore. A colon equals, and then the expression that you want to use. If I want to change the name, I just change the name and call it G. What's nice about this syntax right here is that I can use this anywhere I want in the document. So I can even come all the way up here and go way up here and say, what is f of x? And evaluate this. And it tells me what it was. I can type in f of 3 and it will evaluate this. Well, let's just make sure that it did the right thing. If I plug 3 into this, I should get 9. 2 times 3 plus 3 is 9. And sure enough, it did. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day.